Hello, everyone. Please join me today on my Daily Solve. Today we are tackling the wonderful 4 by 6 by 8. This was made by a guy by the name of Ryden Shea. Oh boy, what a wonderful puzzle. If you don't have any of Ryden's puzzles, please do him a favor and go over to Etsy and look up 3D modded puzzles. You will not be disappointed. So today we have this wonderful piece, the 4 by 6 by 8. So before I get into this, I'm going to show you a few algorithms that I'll be using along the way. So towards the end, I'll go from the end and move forward in time on the solve. The very end requires something called break parity. So let's say, for example, we wanted to exchange this white one here with this yellow one here. They're on opposite sides of the puzzle, but on the same layer. So how do we do that? Well, let's find out. There is a algorithm called break parity, and if it is a right-sided break parity, meaning that it's going to go from the back left to the front right, so that would be this white piece coming to the front in the top rightmost position. That's the one I will demonstrate. There's also a left-handed in which this piece on the back right comes to the front left. So basically think about it in terms of where does the piece end up. If it's on the right, it's a right-handed version. If it's on the left, it's a left-handed version. So let's do the right-handed version. And what we're going to do is do this algorithm twice. And the reason we have to do it twice is because first we have to slice it here to isolate the stripe that includes this piece. Then we have to do it again to get the outer edge back and leave only this center top right edge piece. So here we go. The way it goes is you start with a setup move. That setup move is simply front half. From there, we have a clockwise right half, counter left half. Now notice I'm always slicing here. Clock right, counter left. Now we do a middle move, which is a front half. Now we've isolated these corner pieces over here, and we now have freed up this inner layer. So we're going to do a middle move, which is a half on the right. Now we'll undo that middle setup move, front half. Now we undo everything that we did. Left half, clock right, counter left, clock right, counter. We undo the initial setup move, front half, and we undo that middle move, the right half. Having done that, we now have a 3-cycle on these edges. And the way this is going to work is that once I get it figured out what it is is that this yellow blue is going to come here, This white blue is going to swing around and come here. This white green is going to come up here. So it's a right-handed, meaning it goes from back left to front right. So now that we have it lined up in that configuration, we do the same move again, but only taking the top half, and we start with the setup move, front half. Then we do right, clock right, counter left, clock right, counter left, middle move, front half. That would be the setup to the middle move. Now the middle move is a right slice, undo that middle setup, and undo everything we did. Left, clock right, counter left, clock right, counter, undo the initial setup move, front half, undo the middle slice, and turn the front back, and voila, we have exchanged, after I redo that front half, we have exchanged this white with this yellow. That is brick parity. So then, backing up from that, what would we need to do in order to move this pair from this side? Well, let's just imagine that what we want to do is move this pair of yellows up here, move this pair of greens here, and this pair of yellows here. How would we do that? So here's the basic move. It is up on the right, half. Up on the left, half. Down on the right, half. Down on the left, half. Do that whole thing again. Up on the right, half. Up on the left, half. Down on the right, half. Down on the left, half. Okay, so let's take stock. What happened? Well, what happened was the green that was here came here. The yellow that was here moved here, and the yellow that was here moved up here. So if our goal is to put these here, we have to imagine that they started here, because the movement is this comes here, this comes here, this comes here. So in order to move these two into this slot, we start with them adjacent, and then we start the move with the empties going up. So again, we start with clockwise or up. We turn these up, front half, left up, front half, right down, half, left down, half, right, up, half, left, up, half, right down, half, left down, half. And then we undo the front, and that is how we solve these last two edge pieces. Now, there's going to be some setup moves and rearranging of pieces once I get to that point, because they won't be right next to each other. We'll have to put them next to each other before we start to solve them. Now on to the next piece, which is towards the middle of the solve. There will come a point at which we will need to exchange two outer edges. This algorithm's called Red Bull. I'll show you how it works first. We're going to exchange these yellow greens on the two edges, and here's how it goes. The R is going to be this slice right here, and the L is going to be this slice over here. So we go R2, B2, U2, L down. U2, R down, U2, R up, up, front, R up, front, L up, back half, R2. So that did a few other things at the same time, but the more important thing is what it did do is it exchanged these two. That will come in handy when I actually need to exchange something like this one and this one. What were to happen if this piece needed to be exchanged with this piece? Well, what we would do is we would first move this piece along its axis so that it is now on the same side as this piece and adjacent to it on the opposite ends. So now we repeat that. Now if we go R2, B2, U, L down, up, 2, R down, up, 2, R up, front, R up, front, L up, back, R2. Then we undo that initial setup move, and voila, this piece has exchanged with this piece. Okay, so let's re-exchange these to show you that move again. We have R2, B2, U2, L down, up, R down, up, R up, front, R up, front, L up, back, R2. Okay, so now that you have an idea of how that goes, what will we need to do to get the center parts of the yellow or blue or red? Well, if we need to exchange these center parts, we use a sliding U technique. Now the goal will be, once we get to that position, that we'll have a whole bunch of pieces on the yellow and the white sides that need to end up on the blue, red, green, or orange sides. And we'll be moving these around one at a time. So let me demonstrate how this works. Let's say that I've got the two blues that are right here. Let's just imagine for a second that they were here instead. If I wanted to put them both here, what I would do is have them right in front of where they need to go. And I go up, move the pieces to the front, up on the left, move the pieces back, down on the right, move the pieces back to the front, down on the left, and back. Okay, so here they ended up. Now let's just imagine that we're in the middle of the solve, and we come upon this situation. These two need to go up here. Okay, well, we have to position them so that they can go up here, so we'll turn this sideways. And now we go up on the right, turn them to the front. Up on the left, turn them back, down on the right, back, down on the left, and back. And there we have it. So the same goes for any piece that might be in this middle section that needs to go up to a red or an orange. So let's say that we need these two red to come over here. Well, first of all, we have to get them out of where they are. So we imagine that they're here, and we put these two whites in their place. Up on the left, turn it to the front. Up on the right, turn it back. Down on the left, turn it to the front. Down on the right. And there they are. Now they're here. So now we want to put these here. So we'll turn this to the side, and then we go up on the right, turn it to the front. On the left, down on the right, down on the left. And then we have it. Now these oranges need to go up here. So we'll turn up on the left, turn it to the front, up on the right, turn it back, down on the left, turn it to the front, down on the right, and turn it back. So that's the sliding U, and we can also do them one at a time. Let's just put one of these white ones up here to the blue side. We go up on the right, turn it to the front, up on the left, back, down on the right, turn, down on the left, turn. So that has taken this blue out of here, but we could just as easily put it back by aligning it this way. So this is going to come up to here by going up on the right, turn it to the front, up on the left, turn it back, down on the right, turn it to the front, down, left, turn it back. And thereby the blue got moved up and it got moved back down. So that is the sliding U technique. What else do you need to know? Okay. So what if we needed to exchange both of these? Let's just imagine for a second that, how can we organize this? Let's just imagine for a minute that we had the yellow, or rather that we have this configuration where this red-white needs to exchange with this orange-white, and vice versa, this orange. They actually go this way. This red-white will come here, this orange-white will come here, this red-white will come here, and this orange-white will come here. This is called the even parity. And how does that work? We slice it underneath the topmost piece that needs to be exchanged, and we go up half, front half, right half, and then we do up half sliced, front, right, front, well, I screwed that up royally, didn't I? Front, right. Okay. So here it is once again. This piece will come here. These will exchange. This is even parity. Slice it right under, up half, right, front, half slice U, front, up, right, and up under the slice. And I'll turn that back around. So that's even parity. So that should be enough for us to solve this entire puzzle. Now this does assume that you know how to solve a 4x4, but I'll be explaining as I go anyway. So the first part of the scramble is just to do half turns. We'll continue to do half turns, half, and try to separate all of these layers. We'll separate that and that and that. Good enough. Now we'll turn a layer in and we'll separate those pieces, turn it back. Turn this layer in, turn those layers out, turn those pieces out and turn them back. Let's just kind of separate some of these. And we'll just turn that, turn that. We'll change those, turn this down, and turn this down. There we go, getting a bunch of these pieces out of place. Let's turn these over, get some of those out of the way. Okay, we're looking good. So these middle pieces are getting spread all around the cube. And let's try to separate a couple more of these pieces. And one more. Now that we have moved most of those around, let's start scrambling between the layers. And we'll just move a couple more of these around. Make sure we get a really good scramble. The last thing we want is for this to be easy to solve. That would defeat the whole purpose of it, wouldn't it? Alright, so now I think we can just continue with a complete 3x3 scramble. Most of the corners are now bandaged together with other pieces, and it's looking a lot like a skyscraper with things hanging out all over the place. And there we have it, a fully scrambled 4x6x8. So, first part of the solve is to do the 4x4 solve, which involves first reducing it to a 3x3, and that is done by first doing a center 2x2 reduction. So I'm just basically looking for anything that's sort of adjacent that'll line up. These two reds, there's another red, and there is two oranges, so the oranges are going to be opposite reds, so we'll just put these up here. And here's another red, here's another orange. So So this orange will come up to meet its sibling up there, turn in and turn back. We've got one more red right here. This one will turn on to it, turn away and back down. There's our red and orange centers. We've got a yellow here, and so I'll just move this yellow here, and then the white that is here, move that there, yellow back, and then there we have the rest. Okay, so now we have to figure out where does blue and green go. We got red, white, blue. Blue goes there. So let's move that blue piece down there. Move these two blues here. Turn that around. Come on. Come on. I want to. Gotta get it lined up just right. And turn it back. There's the last blue. We'll turn it so it can receive its sibling there. Turn it and turn it back down. Finally, okay. We have one more white, which is here. And that comes there. Finally, the yellow green. This green will come up to meet this one. Turn it over and back down. So that's the inner 2x2s. The next step is to pair up all of these edge pieces. So I will look for two pieces that are in the center of two edges that have the same two colors on them. The hardest part is to recognize we have white, red, turn that there. Now, I want to look for either a white blue or a red blue to go with one of these other two. White blue, red blue. There's a white blue right there, so turn it up. And now, when you put these together, go opposites. So this white blue is going to replace this white red, which is tall and this is short. And that way, when I turn this back, I get the white blue there. And now, what else can I find? I've got a yellow blue, a blue orange, two blue oranges, there you go. So then I want to find either the yellow green or the white orange. Yellow green or white orange. Yellow green or white orange. Yellow green, yellow green. There it is. Okay, so then this blue orange goes over to this. So then the yellow is on the same as blue. Yellow green. Line up with blue. Yellow green. Yellow blue. So blue comes over here, so the yellow gets on the side, can match it, and then come back. There it is. What next? Yellow, red. And then we need a yellow blue or an orange green. Orange green. green, white, yellow, orange, green, orange, yellow, which means yellow is on the side, so orange is also on the side. That comes back, and this there. Okay, next we see the yellow, blue, and we needed the white, orange, or the yellow, orange. White, orange, or yellow, orange, and they both are right there. So yellow, blue, white, orange, white, yellow, orange, white, yellow, orange, white, yellow. Turn it up, turn it down, and turn back. And what do we have next? Just two more. And they are the red, blue, and red, green. Put them on the same layer. Place this red, green with this red, green. Swing it around. And we turn this upside down by going up, back, down, and then bring it in from the opposite direction. Around from the back down. Now this is upside down, and I can simply turn it back and they line up. Great. Now all the edge pieces are paired, so we just do a 3x3 solve, and we can put the blue, white up to the right of the red, turn that over, then we've got the orange, white, and the green, white. There's my cross. Next I see we have what? Okay, red, white, blue. Blue needs to be next to the red, and then the red, white comes here, and there. Now, what next? We see orange, green. That needs to go here. So we'll put this orange, green down. We'll put the orange, green next to it. Bring that back up. Bring that across. Slide the position up and replace that with the paired up pieces. Now we have this blue-orange needs to come here. I don't want to misplace the corner that's already there, so I'll put a corner that's not solved yet in its place. And I'll just turn the position up, turn the piece onto it, and turn the piece back down, and turn that back. Now, we've got these two next to each other, and this is upside down, so we're going to have to separate them. Bring that down, turn that half. Now, we need these to pair up, so we do left half, turn this over, right, up, and front half. There we go. So, next, we do orient last layer. I do the edges and then the corners, so we're orienting the edges, front, quarter, I do assume you know something about solving a 3x3, so I'm not going to explain everything. I'm just going to do assuming here to get those corners down. Now we need to do a couple of edge exchanges. So, oh, look, I have these two are already ready to be swung down. So I'm going to just turn these upside down, turn this over so that I can just turn this down. Now I'll turn this back, and okay, so next we need to do a pair of corner swaps. So we do a right half clock, right half counter, right half, turn top and bottom, right half counter, right half clock, right. Now we have exchange these two. Now we need to exchange these two. So right half clock, right half counter, right half turn top and bottom away, right half counter, right half clock, right half turns back. So next we need to do a opposite exchange and then an adjacent exchange. So the opposite exchange is right half, right half, up, right, up. And now we need to do an adjacent exchange, which is right half, clock, right half, clock, half, counter, half. Okay. Where are we? Let's see. Maybe we need to, yes, finish that one off. Okay, now move up this side. I think if we turn those around, okay, then we matched up more of these here. Okay, next we move on to the red bull section of the solve. Okay. Taking stock, I can see that if what do I want to do first? Well, this is always the dilemma when you get to this point, is what to do next. Okay, so this yellow blue can exchange with this yellow green. So I set up this yellow blue so that it's now opposite. R2, B, U, L up, down rather, up, R down, up, R up, front, up, front, L up, back, R2, and this turns back down. Okay. I have these two yellow-green, which are paired up, so they need to come to here. So this time I need to move that in so that these two can exchange, so then I can move them back. Okay, so R2, B, U, down, up, R down, up, R up, front, up, front, L up, back, and then R comes down. And let's see, as long as I'm here, I'll just move this back. Then I have this blue orange to replace with this green orange, so I'll turn that in place. R2, B, U, L down, up, down, up, front, up, front, L up, back. This comes down like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is move these two around, do an even edge exchange, and then move them back. So we're slicing here to move this one here, this one here, this one here, and then like that. Okay, so up half, R, front, up, slice, front, right, up. Now this moves back. having done that, I just have one more red bolt to perform to exchange this yellow blue with this white blue. This yellow blue comes forward, so now these two can exchange. R2, B, U, L, up, R down, up, R up, front, R up, front, L up, B, R2, and this comes back. And I lost my lighting. Let me see if I can get that back. That's a little better. Okay, now what do we have with the orange and white? So I can do a red bolt to exchange this red yellow with this white, and that'll put those two in place. So this comes down, so R2, B, U, L down, up, R down, up, R up, front, R up, front, L up, back, R2, and this comes up. Next, we just have this white, red, this white, orange, R2, B, U, L down, R down, R up, front, R up, front, L up, back, R2, then this comes back down. Next, let's put the center pieces in, shall we? What do we have here? Let's put this green one right here to replace that red one. Up on the right, turn it to the front. Up on the left, turn it back. Down on the right, turn it to the front. Down on the left, turn it back. Now we have two oranges lined up, so we'll put those up here. Up on the right, to the front. Up on the left, back. Down on the right, to the front. Down on the left, back. Okay, let's put a red one. Yeah, I can use that one. I'll place this red one with this blue one that's in there. Up on the left, to the front. Up on the right, back. Down on the left, to the front. Down on the right, back. Now we've got this red one. We'll go up here. Up on the right, front, up on the left, back, down on the right, to the front, down on the left, back. This red one will go up here, up on the left, to the front, up on the right, back, down on the left, back, down on the right, back. Orange will come up here, up on the left, front, up on the right, back, down on the left, to the front, down to the right, back. Blue, this blue, up on the right, to the front, up on the left, back. Down on the right, to the front, down on the left, and turn it around. We've got a couple of greens here. We'll put these greens up here, up on the right, to the front, on the left, turning both of them, down, down, turning both of them. Okay, this orange will come to here, up on the right, to the front, up on the left, back, down on the right, to the front, down on the left, back. This red finally up on the left to the front, up on the right, down, and down. Okay, having done all of that, we now have all of the center ones done that we can. The next step is the W in order to solve these final edge pieces. So we need to pair up this blue one with this blue one. And in order to do that, we're going to have to do a couple of setup moves. We just have to remember how to find our way back. So we'll move this one across here and then slice those. Now these two blues are lined up and we want these to end up here. But in order for these to come here, we need them to start on the opposite side. So we have to do another setup move, which will be a front half. We just have to remember to undo that front half first, and then undo this middle slice, and finally undo the back. Okay, so here we go. We'll set that up, and now up on the right, double, up on the left, double, down on the right, double, down on the left, double, up on the right, double, up on the left, double, down on the right, double, down on the left, double. That accomplished our goal. We undo the front, we undo the slice, and we undo the back. Now, what do we have next? These two greens are in the same layer. They cannot be exchanged. So we have to get these out so that we can put them in. So let's just get this one out, and I'll just move that back. So we're going to move this pair of yellow lights in here, and this will come out. Okay, so that starts with, so imagine these two are going to come here. So we start with up on the right, half, up on the left, half, down on the right, half, down on the left, up on the right, half, up on the left, half, down on the right, half, down on the left, half. Okay, having done that, we now have two pieces that can go together. And there they are. And I will put these two in this place so that we can get this one out so that we can match them up and do it again. So these are opposite this. So we start up on the right, half, up on the left, half, down on the right, half, down on the left, half, up on the right, half, up on the left, half, down on the right, half, down on the left, half. Okay, so, and we undo that. Whoops, we will undo that slice and then undo that. Okay, so now how do we get these two together? Well, we're going to have to turn this one a slice back here, and then we can slice them together. We just have to remember our breadcrumbs. Now, also, when we undo this, these two greens are going to end up here, and in our undoing of the setup, these will come back. So we actually have to put these two up here, and they have to be on the opposite side, so we have to do yet another setup. So we just have to remember to get back, we have to start with an undo of the front, and then we're going to do this slice, and then finally the other slice. Okay, so our last setup is the front. Now we start with up on the left, half, up on the right, half, down on the left, half, down on the right, half, up on the left, half, up on the right, down on the left, down on the right, half. Our first undo of the setup is the front half. Now we undo that slice and finally undo this slice. And there we have it. We've done all of these inner pieces of the inner two layers. Now we just have the yellows to go. Now, for the yellows and the whites, we also do sliding U's, but they're all half turns. So I can exchange these. Here, let me do it this way. It's a little easier to see. For me. So this string of whites, we can only use 3 of them, but these 3 will come up to exchange with these 3 yellows. So up, swing to the left, half, swing to the right, get all 3, swing to the left, get those back. Okay? Now, oh, we've got this whole line here, so we just do them one at a time. This will come up here, up on the left, turn it to the right, up on the right, turn it to the left, down on the left, turn it to the right, down on the right. Okay, so now we'll just do this one. This white will come up here, up on the right, turn it, or left, turn it to the right, right, turn it to the left, on the left, on the right. Finally, this white will come here, up on the right, to the left, down on the left, right, down on the left, down on the right. Okay, now we have that even parity of just these 2 yellows with these 2 whites. Now I'm going to have to do it twice. Once to get this entire slice, which will leave just the edges, and then I'll do it again with the edges first. We'll slice here. So this becomes our up, right, front, up, slice, front, right, up. Do it again with just this, up, right, front, up, slice, front, right, up. Okay, now we have just the brick parity left to do. So it's a right-handed. This will come here, and we start off with the setup move, front half, and we're slicing here. It's a clock. It's a right-handed, so start clock, right, counter, left, clock, right, counter, left, middle setup, front half, middle slice, undo middle setup, front half, undo everything we did, left, clock, right, counter, left, clock, right, counter, undo front, the initial setup, front half, undo that middle slice, and turn this back. Now we have just one more 3 cycle with this white blue coming here, this yellow green will come here, this yellow blue comes here. It's a right-handed where we just turn the top layer, so we start with the initial setup move, front half, clock right, counter left, clock right, counter left, middle move, setup, front half, middle slice, undo middle, front half, undo everything else, left, clock right, counter left, clock right, counter left, counter, whoops, I didn't need to do another left, I almost screwed that up. Then we undo the initial setup move, front half, undo that final slice, and we're done. So that is how to solve the 4 by 6 by 8. A wonderful puzzle, and I hope that someone out there can enjoy the solve and go get one for themselves. Bye for now.